Arise and shine. Today is Saturday, the 29th of March 2025. Of course, this is the last Saturday of the month where we get to talk about interesting issues. Of course, it has been a busy month, of course, with a lot of activities. We saw Youth Day, we saw Women's Day, we saw a lot of activities. Quite all right. Month of March has been a month that has brought a lot of stories, especially to the nation of Zambia. Not forgetting that this is Lumen TV Zambia, where we are bringing to you live programmings of Lumen Morning Diary, where we get to interact social, economic, political, as well as sports item right here on Lumen TV channel 101 Top Star. For those that have catched us on Facebook, you can simply share the page. For those that are watching us through YouTube, you can subscribe and like the page so that whenever I'm not alone in the studio, I am with General Perry. General, good morning.
Good morning, Henry.
I get to talk much.
And good morning to our viewers. I was expecting you to say this is the last Saturday of Women's Month, Henry.
Not only women's, not only women's, General. We are also in the Youth Month.
This is Women's Month. Typically Women's Month.
Don't forget that you're a youth also. All right. Right up now, we're looking at the topic of focus, which is financial literacy in Zambia. This is the week of financial literacy. We are commemorating it right here at Lumen TV. Being it the last day, it started on Sunday and it ran up to today, Saturday. Looking at it, financial literacy. What do you understand by the term financial literacy? Not forgetting you can take part by calling on the numbers that you are able to see on your screen, as well as texting just, and we'll have a guest who will take us to speed to understand this topic nicely, so that you get to interact with us through phone calls as well as SMSs. Don't forget that on this show we happen to give you the trends, the molomolistics, the one that happens to be my favorite, as well as the newspaper pick, where we look at stories in the newspapers, as well as you, our viewers, right up there. You can also call us and let us know which stories you're picking in the newspapers, and share your contributions, especially as we get to read the papers. General, if you look at this show, especially that we are in the month of March, the last Saturday of the month of March, how has been March for you?
Well, for me, I've really in it a Women's Month. What has really happened this month hasn't been too good, due to the trends that we've been having each week. You know, the defilement cases keep escalating. This it's really sad, but all in all, we thank God. We thank God for being with us throughout the month of March, in as much as we still have 2 days left. But we're very grateful.
Very grateful, yes,
indeed. You said our topic of financial literacy. What's your understanding about financial literacy? Maybe you can help the viewers to understand it more, so that they might bring in their contributions.
For sure. Okay, first and foremost, when you look at financial literacy, first of all, we're looking at it under the theme, which is financial literacy. You know, if you see this theme, General, financial literacy this week, think before you follow, or safeguard your money. You have to think before you follow and safeguard your money. When you talk about financial literacy, you talk about budgeting, how you manage your finances, because many other times, you know, this is the theme that has come at the right time, where people keep following umunguru, whereby people don't realize to say we have to think before you make a budget. You talk about planning well before you spend anything. We are so glad that this month will not just end without seeing new notes coming on the ground. I mean, to Zambians, not new currency, but new notes. This is something that people are too expectant, but guess what? These people are saying that conductors will suffer at least pangono, whereby 500, but please ensure that you take it right. Financial literacy is the ability to spend money well as well as considering your income and your expenditure. These are the things that we need to understand very well. But also, yes,
Henry, what's the people say, like you've said, financial literacy, how you budget things. There are times, most of the times, we have good budgets when we don't have money. Once money and karamu manj. It's like there's no discipline.
Not forgetting that also JCTR get to educate and talk about how people, how families are supposed to spend. The cost of living is becoming so high, but it's good that we have such stakeholders on the ground that gives estimates, budgets for families to say, okay, approximately someone is able to spend this amount of money at this particular time. You know what, General, these are things that Zambians need to take part in. And also we are seeing, it was yesterday when I was going through the shops trying to get something, and guess what, most of the shops were closed.
Manu underneath shops?
Yes, most of the shops were closed. And it's good that Zambians must be able to take accountability. We have the role to play as citizens. I think...
can I add on what you're just from saying? It's really sad to see that each time the immigration guys are on duty. In our areas, Makombon Miesum, we literally have 0 shops opened. So it's really sad to see that. Why don't we Zambians own grocery shops?
You know what, General, one thing I can tell you is that as much as Zambians can own grocery shops, we've seen quite a number of cases of defilement. Others that are defiling children, they're being cheated that they'll get rich. But these are the things that we should look at as a nation, the source of these cases, as well as what happens, especially when it comes to these Rwandanese shops. These shops actually, they play a vital role in our society, provided that if they use the correct means. It's like the immigration people, they're having conflict with their own citizens, because these Rwandanese are being combated by Zambians. I think there's nothing much that has been done, especially to sensitize the citizens, especially on how they should report such cases, and also how they should alert these people. Because trust me, those Rwandanese are being combated by Zambians. They are renting Zambians' properties.
In as much as they are renting Zambian properties.
Most of them, yeah.
Yes, most of them, no, and there are a few that have actually built their own shops. But it's really sad. I'm talking of an issue where I wake up early in the morning. I need to prepare the kids to go to school. We need bread.
Yeah.
You go to the shops are closed because the immigration are in. No Zambian owns a grocery shop.
For sure.
Why should we always allow investors, in as much as they are renting? They might rent my shop, but I'm the only one benefiting from that rental money. But if I'm a Zambian and I say, okay, let me start up a grocery shop, how many people will benefit from my grocery shop?
This is something which is very disappointing.
I think it needs to be
very disappointing, General. It needs to be a topic on its own. Financial literacy, where we're looking at this theme this week, which talk about do not think before you follow, safeguard your money. Yes. Do you think before you follow, General? If I invite you to say, General, let's go out for a chill.
Truth be told, Henry, if those that know me personally, you know me personally, I really think before you follow, for the question that you've asked. I don't do things out of doing them. I need to see how my financial stability. In as much as you would say no, come for a chill, you do whatever. I also need to have my own money. I don't go out without having my own money.
One independent lady.
Yes. then if the money that I have is for something else, trust me, I'll just tell you, unfortunately, I can't come along. I've seen a lot of people losing money, especially pale in China. I am a business. I said invest 200, you get a 250 or a 300. People just do it out of doing it. This is the reason why most of them have even closed down. People cry. I am a financial shanshan. You know them?
No.
You know what?
I
don't you come across these whatever companies? They'll tell you invest a 500, you get a 1,000.
For me, whatever comes like that, for me, I take it as scam.
Exactly.
So I hardly follow such.
And now the sad part is we have people that follow this blindly and end up crying once they lose their money.
All right, so our phone lines will be open as we look at the trends so that our viewers can also take part there to let us know what has trended in the society this morning. You know, something has happened this morning. We cannot know, maybe it has not yet popped up on social media. You can still call us and let us know, but know that as Lumen TV, we are with you in combating child defilement to ensure that this come to an end. You know, people have been singing this song for Sister D, and I'm glad. I don't know if you know the song, General.
You know, it has resurfaced. You know, it's an old song.
Yeah, vitendeni vitendeni vigawenga ivo vaononga vanae nivinze luva bwanji vogwira vana bangono mwana wazaka bezivili mwana mungono I know a song, one legend Mudenda. You know, when you see me, I'm a legend.
I'm a shy. Okay, our viewers, let's take our viewers to the newspaper peak.
Yeah, our phone lines are open. Don't forget that those that are watching us through Facebook, follow along and call us, especially on those numbers that are on the screen as we look at the trend. You can also take part and add on, especially on the newspaper peak as well as the trends. Yes, General.
So I take you to the Zambia Daily Mail. The headline: It will be People's Constitution. Kasune. Final text to take feedback from citizen. Minister of Justice Princess Kasune has clarified that the proposed amendment to increase nominated members of parliament is merely a proposal, and the final text of the amendment bill shall be informed by feedback from the citizens, which is a key part of the consultative process. This story continues on page 3. The
top stories on the Max newspaper. Stop it now. Luapula chiefs reject harmful water transfer plan. Yeah, that's on the Mass newspaper. Then still on the Mass newspaper's front page, fear of defeat behind amendments charges Binwo Mpundu. Another story in the Zambia Daily Mail. HH drops Nkombo, appoints Luvalo. President Hakainde Hichilema has terminated the appointment of Gary Nkombo as Minister of Local Government and Rural Development. Mr. Hichilema has replaced the Mazabuka lawmaker with his Sinazongwe counterpart, Gifts Luvalo. This is contained in a statement issued by State House Provincial Private Secretary Bradford Machila. All right, 440 million mobile NRC insurance to kick off. This story continues on page number 3. Another very good story in the Zambia Daily Mail. Man hacks ex-wife in front of daughter. A crime of passion has shocked residents of Kachowelo village in Lundazi district in Eastern Province. A man followed his ex-wife to her parents' home and hacked her to death. And the whole horror played out in front of their 12-year-old daughter. Police named this victim as Jessie Gwai, who was hacked by her ex-husband, 38-year-old Tizias Piri. Eastern Province Police Commanding Officer Robertson Mwemba said the incident occurred on Thursday around 10 hours. Story continues on page 3. All right, let me just pick one or two stories inside the paper where butane was better than this, says Mwenye. So this story is on page number 3 of the Zambia Daily Mail. In entertainment news,
Biflo is Zam president.
Wow. You know, Faz again. Our Faz AGM on today.
Okay.
Yeah.
Eyes on World Cup qualification. Calabar tells under 17. Assistant coach Rainford Calabar has advised the under 17 national team to qualify for the FIFA Qatar World Cup to shape their careers. This is the sports news.
All right. So the latest update on the Faz AGM today, the latest update that we have in the studio is that this AGM has been cancelled. All right. So, General, when you look at these stories, especially from Zambia Daily Mail, which one has caught your interest?
Well, the HH drops Garin combo
From
Minister of being the Minister of Government, local government.
okay.
Wow, looking at it's shocking.
Anything is possible.
Yes,
Anything
but
is
you know,
possible.
yeah, anything. No, these are politics, and anything is possible. And the other story is the man that hacked his ex-wife.
All right, our viewers out there, which stories are you picking and what has trended before we touched one or two stories on the trends? What has trended in your area today? We want to see your messages. We want to see your phone calls. For those that are watching us via Facebook, you can drop your comment and let us know where you're watching from and what you feel about this topic that we are looking at today, which is financial literacy under the theme Think Before You Follow, Safeguard Your Money, which is very important. You know, General, one of the important things that I came to understand is that the only way of safeguarding your money, especially in this era, is that if you don't have a budget, wherever you're going, even movements, you know, it's very expensive to move. Yeah, so just leave your money. People, when they see you moving, they see that you always have money to say, I know I'm asking for money, I'm asking for this, especially that you're seen on TV. General, people ask you for money to say, General, at least give us something. But trust me, when you leave your money home, trust me, you will always be careful. Even spending will become less for you. This is just what I thought of educating someone out there, because you'll be tempted to spend when you carry money everywhere you go.
Yes. So what was changing this week since we've touched the newspaper piece? Some chains, Henry. Okay, so I read one of the chains where Biflo was appointed as Zam president. That's the Zambia musical president, association musical president. Yeah,
you know, a big congratulations to one Biflo there.
And his vice is KB.
Who is KB?
Anyway,
I can ask you here, who is KB, General? Who is KB? Because in the music industry, for me, for
Killer Beats.
Or Killer Beats. Okay, big congratulations to them out there. You know, the stories that have been making headlines still this week, we saw the cases of defilement still rising in different parts of the country. You know, I was so disappointed to see one of the stories on Wednesday, which was covered by ZNBC. You know, when we talked about orphanages, people would think that when children go to the orphanages, they are safe. But there is one that revealed that he was being taken advantage of from the time that she went there by one of the bishops.
Wow. Yeah. You know, this week we've seen people that we actually think are men of God being in that evil act. It's really, really, really sad to see papas, as they call them, being taken to the police because of defilement. Because of defilement.
Do you think, our viewers out there, do you think the punishment that is given to defilement cases, is it not enough, or we need stiff punishments for these cases? Please, you can let us know by calling in and contribute. We are looking at the trends now. We've touched the issue of defilement. You can still talk about it, even let us know where you're watching from and your views regarding the same cases of defilement. You know, this is very disappointing. I don't know how safe the girl child is. Not too long we also saw the cancer patient being defiled by the biological father.
So many have been defiled by their own biological fathers, and it's really, really sad. I came across a story that, though it didn't happen in the month of March, but it happened this year, of this father that used to take advantage of his child, though it's rape, no defilement, because the child is over 18. When the child talked to the father, "Why are you doing this to me?" His response was, "I'm doing this to you because I love you."
Okay, other stories that trended on social media, it is the amendment of the new constitution. You know, this is something that has been talked about in Parliament this week, where we saw the Minister of Justice highlighting those uncontagious parts of the constitution that are about to be amended. And one of them, which she talked about, was delimitation of constituencies by the Electoral Commission of Zambia, because some constituencies happen to be too big. These are the stories that have trended on social media. Please note that the Gazette will go around in all the 10 provinces of Zambia, so that the citizens can go through and understand what exactly that will be changed in that constitution.
Yeah.
General, the other thing that I just wanted us to touch, away from defilement cases, people are very expectant about the new notes starting Monday. Is it Monday or Tuesday?
31st, which is
the 31st,
Monday.
which is Monday.
Yes. So Henry, as we started this show, I heard you saying my 500 conductor Zambo Piva Chibe Kuti no change. I was in a situation. I was very lucky to have attended one of the meetings at Bank of Zambia this week. And what we were informed was the 500 notes won't be as common as the 100 kwacha note that we currently have, because it's the highest note. So not everyone is going to have it. You get.
Okay.
So you and that no ikalam shupa change. Once the 500 note becomes too common, meaning it will be of less value. Its value will degrade because anyone can afford to have it at any particular moment. And looking at the new notes, we saw this story of Ramatero.
Okay.
How quick are they?
You mean Matero compound?
Matero compound. I mean, they have made fake notes
of the new currency.
Of the new notes.
The new note, yeah. Yeah, you know, something which is there is that we need to understand that money is something which is supposed to be, you know, very difficult to trace or maybe to duplicate or so to say. You know, this is something that we must be careful of. You know, one of the reasons I just overheard, one of the reasons why these immigrations keep on following up these foreign shops, because they don't take the monies to the bank. I think this is something that we need to improve on as a nation, so that we educate as we're looking at financial literacy in Zambia. What is also the importance of taking money to the bank? Because many of the times when you see, when you go to the shop, buy, and then one thing you should understand that those people also go for orders, and for orders they go to the manufacturers. And most of the manufacturing companies in Zambia, they get raw materials from outside Zambia. So this is something that we are seeing, that the economy cannot improve if people are not banking the money. Yeah. So we've seen quite a number of changes, especially in these shopping malls, the introduction of mobile money transactions and the like. So this is something that has to be worked on as we are looking at this topic, financial literacy. So for now, we'll go on a short break. And before we go on a break, quite all right, General, before we go on a break, I want us to look at the mobile money transactions. How effective has it been to you as we are looking at financial literacy? Don't follow anyhow, safeguard your money. Me, I talked about leaving the money home, but there is also this issue of financial literacy in line with
digital
mobile money.
Let me just say digital. You know, this digital, in as much as we love it, it might be okay, but it actually makes us indiscipline a bit.
Digital?
Yes, because when you call me, Jana, and then back 50 kwacha. As long as it's there in my mobile money, I'll do the transaction. You get there and then. It's really hard. Bando panono washta bando panono washta talk time. That's how hard it is.
All right. Before we go on a short break, you know, the cost of living at the end of it all, it brings us back to financial literacy. People that are poor today, people say that I think these people are poor because they don't have a budget. You know, for Lusaka, the cost of living general is something which has become very high. Yeah, whereby I also overheard something that people say, Lusaka small gona chabi, Lusaka in general.
No, kutamanga ni business.
All right, so for Lusaka province, JCTR said that the cost of living is at 11,546 that was in the month of March. We are still in the month of March. So the cost of living, this is for 5 people.
A family of 5.
Family of 5, yeah. It's about 11,000, and an average cost of living for the first quarter of the year 2025 is 8,024. That is in Zambia. So when you look at the cost of living and also the income of the people, for you to be able to sustain the family of 5, you need to look at 11,000.
Okay. Yeah. That's actually their calculation, which is true. I think. Looking at how we spend from where I'm coming from, I feel they're in the right track. They might be a bit low or higher depending on your personal budget.
Yeah, for sure. There should be some causes of these as well as the solutions. So JCTR will give us more insight on the solutions to these cost of living. For now, we'll go on a short break. For now, after that, we'll look at the clip by the JCTR.
The Jesuit Center for Theological Reflection, JCTR, is synonymous with the Basic Needs and Nutrition Basket, BNNB. The Basic Needs and Nutritional Basket is a monthly survey conducted since the 1990s to estimate the cost of living for the family of 5 people across selected 16 towns in Zambia. On Thursday, the 27th March 2025, JCTR gave an overview BNNB for March and an overview for the first quarter of 2025. The report reviews that generally the cost of living continued to rise, with Lusaka being the highest at 11,546 kwacha, 87 ngwe. And preliminary data from the BNNB survey conducted across 12 of the 16 towns reviews an average cost of living stands at 8,024 kwacha, 44 ngwe. for the family of 5. JCTR therefore makes the following recommendations to address the experienced causes of high cost of living in Zambia.
In light of the findings, the Jesuit Center for Theological Reflection makes the following recommendations. Number 1, preservation of harvest gains. Given the sufficient rains that we have experienced countrywide in the 2024-2025 rain and farming season, we anticipate an increase in crop harvest across various crops that our farmers worked so hard to produce. The anticipated improved crop harvest presents an opportunity to ensure that any gains in crop harvest and yield realized during the just concluding farming season are not only prudently utilized, but also stored well so that nothing goes to waste. We urge the government to prepare adequately to ensure that the post-harvest losses are minimized, if not completely eradicated, by making sure that we have the silos ready in order to prevent waste. This obviously will be a step towards ensuring not only long-term food security for households, but also in making sure that the supply of commodities increases, and we expect that with an increase in supply of the products that would have come from the farming season, the price will come down or lower to a point that can be afforded, particularly by the poor. Second recommendation, we recommend a steady and continued, in fact, an increase in infrastructure, particularly road infrastructure, agriculture infrastructure, and associated technologies. We urge the government to increase and continue to invest in road infrastructure, in agriculture infrastructure, particularly in rural areas where most of our farming communities live, but especially the small-scale farmers who continue to work hard in order to feed this nation. This way, access to markets for the farmers who work hard to grow will be improved, but also access to various markets around Zambia so that the anticipated increase in production, in agriculture production, can benefit everyone. We also urge the government to increase investment in social sectors. Human development is critical to dismantling an ecosystems. Therefore, the government must increase investment in key social sectors such as health, education, water and sanitation, and social protection. It is imperative that development policies and systems respond to the needs of the people and ultimately result in a just society that promotes the common good for all by ensuring that every person can access and afford basic needs that they need for a dignified life.
And what we are also advocating for is to ensure that measures should be put in place, whether the crop is collected by the informal, the so-called briefcase buyers, because some of them are quite big. The informal or the formal, it should not find itself going across the borders, but should be preserved as well as preserved in a way that it doesn't go to waste, and also to subsidize neighboring countries.
It is only hoped that the recommendations submitted by JCTR can be given the highest priority, as they can help to address the high cost of living in Zambia and enable the poor have the much needed basic needs and nutrition in their homes and dignity restored where lost.
Welcome back. That was JCTR that was giving us an insight on the cost of living in Lusaka as well as the 16 towns of Zambia. So the solutions that he actually talked about was producing more, especially that more development in rural areas to ensure that roads are there for those small scale farmers, and the harvest of water. These are the things that we should look at as a need to ensure that the cost of living is brought to a lower. Guys, when we look at it general, especially general, the cost of living in Lusaka, it's 11,000 and plus. How do you take it?
I remember I had told you before we went on the break to say, looking at where I come from, they are okay. So maybe Mr. Mafuta is the right person to answer that.
Yeah, and in the studio we've been joined by Mr. Mafuta, who give us an insight in the world of sports. But even in sports, for one to go out there and play soccer well, you need energy, not overthinking. We saw Zambia losing to Russia. What I was thinking in my mind was that they were imagining bombs. Mr. Mafuta, bring us to speed in the world of sports.
Yeah, okay. In the world of sports, of course, you started with the Lasha friendly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it's a friendly that first of all, it had a lot of hurdles in terms of assembling the best team. Mm-hmm. If you look at the team that we took to Lasha, I think one will definitely realize that is not our first lineup, as we say. We had the key players missing, but funny enough, even having issues of failing to with other players, I can single out Frank Msonda, giving excuses of I can't trace my passport. Imagine. So one wonders if really other players just wanted to withdraw from this friendly because I didn't see sense in such kind of an excuse. So we had key players missing in that team. Luambo Msonda, the captain himself, not present. Then from Zulich, Sabobo Banda is a boy that has come on song, was missing. We had Patson Daka himself missing, and a lot more. So I think someone had an idea, but maybe what made a lot of Zambians remain with a lot of questions was the issue of a team that we are playing, Lasha. Remember, Lasha is a team that stands not active in the world of football because internationally they are on a ban by FIFA because of what is happening in their country.
Yeah.
But of course, now looking at Russia as a country, Russia is not a simple team, Henry, because they have a stretch of 6 games they've played unbeaten, with one of the highest scoreline beating Cuba 8-0. In the last 5 games Russia has played, they have scored 41 goals and conceded 9. So they are leading 41-0 against 5 different nations.
Wow.
So it tells you the quality that we have. So for me, I think the Russian coach had a very good feedback to the Zambian coach, where he says he was not looking at the margin, but he felt we had talent, but we just needed to get our tactics right.
All right, just on that one before you go to another story. When we see Russia resurfacing in the world of sports, does it mean that their ban is about to be uplifted by FIFA?
I would say not really, because the ban is dependent on the impact that is in Russia, the war and so on. The issue between them and Ukraine is what brings in that impasse. Now, a friendly which is not on an international calendar, or rather a friendly not on a FIFA day, because FIFA has got days for its FIFA friendly. Anything you play against that does not fall under any of the jurisdictions of FIFA. So it's like it's a mere game that even if Zambia had to beat like, we don't get any points in terms of FIFA ranking.
Yeah.
It's a mere mutual game between our two nations. And of course, there were funny things where people were posting to say Zambia risks being banned for playing Lasha, a team that is on the ban. But to the contrary, that game did not fall under the prefix of the FIFA point gaining game. So it falls off and it wasn't an issue.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. We get back to the FAS.
Yes.
There's so much commotion, Kolia. What do you have to say about that?
The first commotion, I would relate it to a home where the husband and wife are never been. I think if you look at what has been happening at FAS, I think we pretend that all is well, but truth be told, I think we are cheating ourselves to say things are okay. The injunctions have been filed, but again, people think, well, some people are questioning why should people file in injunctions on the very last minute? The injunction was not filed. These were filed much earlier, but it is the court's response that came at the last minute. Remember, when you submit to court has a right to respond, provided it is within the time frame of the possible day you have proposed an injunction. Even 2 minutes before you start an injunction. So, but to a layman outside there, I will just look at why has it come now? Yes, these people were studying the matter and they can throw away an injunction or obtain an injunction. So the court decided to obtain this injunction, meaning it had more valid points and worthy. Hence they said they can serve the injunction on FAS. And the minister is in Livingstone, the FAS delegation, of course, Kamanga, the two Kamangas, secretary and the president. We have CAF representatives, CAF representative and FIFA itself, they are all in Livingstone, but Kamanga addressed the delegates after receiving that. For the first time, I've seen a twist in Kamanga. Why am I saying I've seen a twist in Kamanga? Kamanga has been adamant to an extent of saying FAS does not submit to the rules of the courts of law, but FAS submits to the rules of FIFA. But I saw him receiving this injunction because I remember last time when an injunction was served. Remember, there was another AGM that was, I think you remember that.
Yeah, you know.
And FAS was adamant to say, as FAS will go ahead, will not honor the injunction. But this time, himself was the first one to announce to say, we have an injunction and this AGM is not going on. It's very awkward because take this as not official, but something that is coming from different, because I'm in touch with different people in Livingstone. Other people are saying this injunction is a cooked injunction from the very Kamanga camp. Having done their homework, they've seen the vote seems to be going on the other side. And to prevent the election going on within their camp, they fueled that injunction so that this election doesn't go on for now. But the other group, again, feels Blackwell Soare is paying back because Soare was banned by Kamanga and is among those who are into this engine. So, you know, where there is such a lot of rumors will come in, but it's not health for Zambia.
Yeah, it isn't.
It's not health. But I still feel, personally, I feel FIFA is a major culprit in our impact. And a lot of people will not agree. Why I'm saying so? FIFA, in the first injunction we had, it was reported to FIFA. And when it was reported, after some time we were told the president himself, Infantino, is coming to Zambia for a fact-finding mission amidst the impasse we had. He came to Zambia. He had that opportunity to resolve our issues. But what did we see? In my own thinking, he came to, because he needs a relationship with all the FA presidents. Because it's these same FA presidents who vote for the FIFA president. So he's cementing his relationships with the different FAs. And when he came to Zambia, he really wanted also he has to cement that vote from Kamanga as one of people that will vote for him. But forgetting to say the big issue in the house is that of the confusions that Zambians are going out. It happened in the Muchinga elections. The Muchinga delegates were not happy when he was addressing them. Among the things they questioned was they felt the FIFA funds did not go as planned because remember we were supposed to have 5-star class stadia in Zambia from the FIFA money. One of them is the David Kaunda in Chipata, which they commissioned and finished. Standard is substandard, even after the commissioning.
There's a stadium in Chipata?
Yes. David Kaunda, yes. That's the main stadium.
You see?
And
General, for me in the world of sports, I just come like a visit. How many stadiums do you have, like the ones like Heroes?
The ones at Heroes level, it's only two. It's Heroes and Mwanawasa. Those are high. But we have small ones because even in these same European countries, I think, do you know that stadiums like those for Ipswich, those small teams in the English league, they're as small as this Odran Stadium.
Okay.
Very small.
Very small, but just properly made.
Exactly.
And
so
maintained.
It doesn't mean when you hear of England, then what you have are these big ones, the Anfield, the Stanford Bridge. There are other small ones. And the same applied to Zambia because FIFA was saying we can better our infrastructure also by bettering small ones.
Exactly.
The other one was in Solwezi, Independence. It was heavily funded. We have the same impasse. So, as things stand, I think we are yet to know how Zambian football will move. But indeed, it's not really health. Of course, one candidate withdrew, Mr. Amfwiti. He withdrew and we remain with 4. But with this injunction, we just don't know what follows. I'm sure as the day unfolds, we'll be able to get something from it.
Yeah, very true.
But reality is there is no fuzzy election.
Right, all eyes and ears on the Livingstone there to hear what will unfold by the end of the day. All right, for now, we'll go on a short break. We'll be right back.
Welcome back. You're still on Lumen Morning Diary, and right about now we've been joined by Father Asa, who's here to feed our souls with the food for the soul. Good morning, Father.
Father, good morning. Morning.
I'm always happy whenever you're here because I know my soul is about to be fed.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
I always remember that word when Jesus Christ was sent the disciples. He never sent them one, two.
2 by 2.
Yes,
Okay.
Father.
Yes, Father, you can go ahead.
So our today's food for the soul is inspired by yesterday's way of the cross. Yeah, I was following the way of the cross yesterday, and just something, came into my mind, especially reflecting on what led to the death of Jesus. Of course, we know that so many things led to the death of Jesus, but there's one particular thing which maybe even we rarely talk about. Okay, Jesus was killed first of all so that he saves the world. We agree.
Yes.
Yeah, we are supposed to agree.
Yes.
Most
I
definitely.
agree.
So that he saves the world. But there is also another reason I think that we can reflect on, so that we try also not that reason. And I want to call it jealousy. Yeah, I want to call it jealousy. You know what jealousy is? Jealousy is like witchcraft. In fact, jealousy is another form of witchcraft. Jesus was gaining popularity. He was preaching, and a lot of people started following him. Okay, he was becoming more and more popular. Jews didn't like that. The Pharisees, the scribes, they didn't really like that. This guy is going to overthrow us. He's going to take our seats of leadership. So, what should we do? But again, if we just go and capture him, maybe the people are going to rise against us, because it seems everybody believes in what he's doing, and a lot of people like him. Okay, so we have to be careful about it. So they begin to, in fact, the Bible says they begin to plot. Okay, they begin to put the pieces in order so that they find a concrete reason why he should be put to death. And that reason should also be convincing to the people, so that. But the whole thing was just about jealousy, because they didn't want to have somebody moving around the villages who might take their seats. Jesus had no intentions of taking anybody's seat, because his mission was different from what they were thinking. But because of jealousy, because of the huge crowd that was pulling, these people felt intimidated. And that's what happens even, let's put it in our own context. I talked about witchcraft.
Yes.
When somebody is bewitching you, usually it is because they are jealousy of you. Okay. And when we talk about witchcraft, we are not just talking about black magic. We are also talking about poisoning. We've heard of people that have been poisoned. Okay, poisoned by friends, poisoned by people that don't expect that can do that to you. But all that is because of jealousy. And we need to fight that spirit in order to reduce some of the calamities that we inflict on other people. Some of the evil things that we inflict on other people. A lot of families have crumbled because of this same aspect, this same evil, jealousy. If you have children, okay, let's say you are both coming from the same family, okay, you are siblings. You have your own children, he has his own children. You educate your own children. They are doing fine because you have educated them and you have given them a good life. Okay, for whatever reason he doesn't educate his children and they end up as junkies. Whatever reason, whether negligence or he didn't just have money or whatever, Do you know what is likely to happen between the two of you? Because you have educated your children, he might not be happy. And this is what happens in families. He might not be happy. Nanga bana bake bwanji bankala bwino. Anafaka bana banga ku mashopi yake or whatever, you know. So there's going to be this, sometimes it is just Cold War between you and him. And a lot of families have gone to pieces because of this thing. How can you be a Christian and be a jealous person at the same time? The two shouldn't go together. The two should not be married, because jealousy has no place within the Christian the Christian reality, the Christian environment. It has no place. If you are working for the same company, both of you, and you are both eyeing a certain position, okay, and maybe you are also close friends, let us put it that way, and he takes that position, how would you feel about it? Would you be happy that your friend has taken that position which you were also eyeing, or would you feel jealous? Don't respond, don't answer. Don't answer. Yeah. But the reality is that there is a certain spark of jealousy that is going to be ignited in you. But yeah, he's my friend. But how can he? I also wanted that position. I should have been the one given that position. But he got it. Whatever reason, maybe the bosses thought maybe he's the better candidate or what. And slowly you begin to, he doesn't know what is going on within you. Slowly you begin to resent him. Okay? You begin to feel irritated. He comes around, how are you? Good morning. Of course, you're going to smile. You're going to, show him this plastic kind of face. But he doesn't know what is going on within you. And if that jealousy grows and grows and grows, that feeling, whatever you're feeling, grows and grows. The next thing that you'd want is to put poison in his cup. And this is what happens at places of work. People get poisoned because of things like that. But it all comes from that feeling of jealousy. How can he have that? I'm the one that should have that. So all that can be avoided by not giving space to jealousy within the Christian environment. Even families that have crumbled because of jealousy could have been saved had this not been given space within their life, within their family life. But unfortunately, this is something that people seem to be, giving space to, and they make it comfortable, and so it becomes a part of our life. It becomes like, I should feel this way if somebody gets what I was also what I was also desiring to get. So our food for the soul today is basically on this aspect of jealousy, and this is what even led Jesus to his death. At least one of the reasons. Some people thought this guy is going to take what we have, so let us eliminate him. Even today, people are still killing Jesus because they feel he is challenging their status quo. Okay. And so they bewitch you.
Yeah.
Father, just on that one, maybe here is a family, or let me not put it to family. Let me take it to church. At church level, we have different classes of people, where others would contribute more, and then others don't. Is it necessary for one to feel jealous because others are contributing more to God's work?
To begin with, it is not necessary to have jealousy at all for anything. For anything.
For anything.
Yeah, we don't want to qualify jealousy to say, oh, maybe it is necessary to feel jealous because of this, but because of this, it is not. No, jealousy should not be given space within anywhere near us or within our environment. Yeah. So
I think we will classify it as sin.
It is actually sin.
It's sin.
It is sin.
So why should it be good in other areas?
Yeah.
Sin is sin.
So
no, I just thought of that example.
If you are contributing more than I am contributing, I should work hard so that I also contribute. Okay? But why should I feel bad because we are contributing? Because what you're contributing is actually going to benefit me also. I belong to that same church. Not
sure.
Both of us are of the same church. So if you contribute more, well, I can contribute also, but maybe according to my means. If I want to contribute more, I can work harder and contribute as much as you have contributed, or even more. But of course, like you are saying, this is reality. Unfortunately, someone might feel jealous because of that.
Father, I think just to come in, I think I understand where Henry is coming from. You know, with these churches of nowadays, where I'm the one that is giving out more each and every time, I become the celebrity of the church. Whatever I say stands, while those that are not giving alms, they are neglected. Maybe that's where everything comes in. Yeah,
so those that are giving more and more are given more attention.
Yes.
They are given more space in the church. They are given more, privileges? If there are those privileges available. And those that are not given as much, or those that are not giving anything at all, are kind of pushed to the boundaries, to the peripheries. We'll call them when it is time to sweep the compound.
Yes.
To sweep the compound of the church. Come and sweep. That is your job. That is the only contribution you can make to the church. Sweep or dobani mapepa. That is the only. Of course, these things happen, unfortunately. But when people are making contributions to the work of the church, they're not doing that because they want to be seen.
But some do that.
Shouldn't, or they should, let me put it this way.
Yes.
They shouldn't do that because they want to be seen or to be recognized or whatever. They shouldn't. If someone does that, gives money to the church or brings the offertory, big offertory, because they want to be seen, then they haven't given anything at all. You haven't done anything. If your motive is so that you are recognized more, or so that you are given more privileges as a member of that church, then you are not giving at all. That is not giving. You are just I don't even know what to call it. Because to give to the church wholeheartedly, first of all, you shouldn't even desire that cameras should be on you. You shouldn't even desire that your name is mentioned. If you want to give genuinely, you shouldn't even desire that you are given that place of honor if you want to give genuinely. So, and these are things that are killing the church, actually. You know, where people feel they should be recognized more because they are giving more, or because they are contributing more. And in the long run, what are you doing? You are pushing away those that don't have anything to give. They begin they'll stop coming to church.
Definitely.
Yeah. So in the end, you just remain with these few. The church, shrinks just to these few people that are able to give whatever they. And the day that they'll stop giving these, because they'll not always be giving, there's a day that they'll say, talema na ife tingo talema. Then you're going to say, muzibwera ku church, but you pushed away those that didn't have as much. So
Father, you've actually taught us about jealousy. You know, witchcraft is not, like you had mentioned, is not only about black magic. Witchcraft can be even what you utter, the things that you say about your friend. You gave a very good practical example of me and Henry working in one company, while Henry gets promoted for the job that position that I was also eyeing. I might not personally poison him by putting poison in his cup, but probably I will start speaking evil about him so that he gets demoted.
It's actually a form of witchcraft also.
Yes. So witchcraft is not only black magic or the physical poison that you put in the cup.
So you begin to go to the bosses and say, that guy you promoted.
This and this. You frustrate someone.
He's my friend. I know him. He's my friend. And there's something that you don't know about him.
You find someone is about to get married. You start telling the groom to say, no, nifi, she has sugar daddies here and there. So that's also witchcraft.
It's a form of witchcraft. Jealousy.
General, I think what General is touching now, it's going somewhere. But
okay, thank you very much, Father. We've been blessed, we've heard, we've been taught about jealousy, and I'm sure our viewers will remove the element of jealousy in them For now, we take a short break. We'll be right back.
Wow. Welcome back. We are still looking at the topic of focus, which is financial literacy in Zambia. Many other times people look at financial literacy as a very strange thing, but all in all, it is a thumb up to the government of the Republic of Zambia by introducing it as a topic in the new syllabus. Financial literacy is there when you're doing accounts. All right, right up now in the studio, I've been joined by Felix Mutale, the Finance and Administration FAD Accountant of ZCCB Zambia Conference for Catholic Bishops. Welcome to the show, sir.
Thank you very much.
Yes, we're looking at...
Good morning, and thank you very much. Thank you very much for inviting me to this interview. As you've already said, my name is Felix Mutale, and I'm grateful to come and share a thought on financial literacy, which is a very important topic because we are going to look at various issues pertaining finances.
All right, our dear viewers, our phone lines are open. You can call us and let us know where you're watching us from and participate in this topic of financial literacy, which is under the theme Think Before You Follow, Safeguard Your Money. And before we talk about a lot of things here, bring us to speed, explain to us and our viewers out there on Financial Literacy Week. What is it all about?
Financial Literacy Week, maybe just to define it in simple terms, financial literacy, it's a knowledge about finances, because finances plays a very significant role in different organization as well as in individual life. So understanding finances will be very important in your application of various things that you do pertaining to your life. If it's an organization, finances are like the blood that helps the organization to operate. So without the finances, an organization cannot operate. So Finance Literacy Week, it's a campaign that raises awareness on how to use the finances.
Okay, so Mr. Mutale, why is this week so important? Why should you come up with a week for financial literacy? Why is it important? Kindly explain to me and the viewers.
Okay, this week is important, and I understand the formulators of this same Finance Literacy Week. What they had in mind is, I think they looked at various challenges that individual as well as organization were facing. So they thought of coming up with maybe this campaign so that different types of people, organizations can start now to understand what is finance, what the finances is all about. in short, it deals with how to manage the money that you make. So in money, there are so many things that are involved. There is the income part, and there is also an expense part. So let me bring it to the individual context. You as an individual, you need to understand the money that you are making. So if you understand the money that you are making, then it will be easier for you to understand also how you are going to spend that money. So in understanding on how you are going to spend that money, that means now you need to incorporate the budgeting component and how you are going to make informed decision. So the financial literacy week was made up in order to make sure that different types of people or different individuals also understand the wider broad that involves the usage of finances that they are making, as well as how the budget and everything that is involved is well put.
All right, so Mr. Mtale, help us understand the theme of this Financial Literacy Week. Think before you follow, safeguard your money.
The theme, in my own understanding, it's a very diverse theme, and it's very, very important if you try to expand it further, because it's talking about think before you follow and safeguard your money. Let me break it down into categories. So the first one, I will talk about think before you follow. So the think before you follow, it's really trying to educate all the Zambians out there, and maybe the population at large, the world at large, to make sure that they think before they make an informed decision that involves money. And nowadays, with the coming of social media, there's a lot of happening. There's a lot of misinformation. There are a lot of scammers that will bring up a financial investment that looks to be attractive. So what this financial literacy theme is really talking about, it's trying to bring an awareness so that individual or organization can think before they make that financial decision. Think critically before you invest your money. Think critically before you take up any investment that you want to take up. And the last part, safeguard your money, it's also talking about ensuring that you safeguard your money for future investment. You need to start preparing for your retirement. You need to make sure that you start preparing for the unforeseeable things that may affect, that will require the involvement of finances. So in coming up with these two themes that I've tried to break down in two categories, the think before you follow and safeguard your money, it has really helped the population at large to understand what is involved in managing the finances, as well as safeguarding what they have and what is yet to come.
Okay, so who are the main targets of this Financial Literacy Week?
The main target of this Financial Literacy Week, I think it covers a broader population, as I would say, because it targets everyone, that is individual as well as organization, profit making as well as non-profit making, because anything to do with finances is like key in an organization. There's no organization that can operate without finances. So profit making organizations, they need finances. And non-profit making organizations, they also need finances. Individuals also need finances. Even children in home, they also need to understand finances at a tender age. So that's a more reason why you've seen there are different types of activities that are happening during this week, or that were being conducted. There were different debates that were conducted in secondary school, so that children in school can be educated about finances, so that if they understand finances at the tender age, it will be easier for them to apply those things when they grow up. And that will also help the population at large. That will also help the country, because if you have a population that understand finances and the population that is able to understand how to use the finances, then you are going to lessen the pressure on the government, because the population will be able to understand the finances. Even the government, when they put up a budget, if you have a population that is able to understand the budget and everything, then it will be easier for them to even make sure that they question any government expenditure that looks very questionable, because they understand the finances.
All right, Mr. You can ask. You can ask, yeah.
Mr. Mtale, looking at the points that you actually brought out, I feel this campaign should be something that is done each and every time, because, you know, people really need to have knowledge about what they invest in, as in safeguarding their money. People are just following blindly nowadays. This is the reason why we have a lot of people that are crying, no, I lost 20,000 because I had put this on such a bait. No, I invested in this company because they had promised they'll give me back this money and the likes. So I feel this campaign should be done even monthly.
Yeah, that's very true. I agree with you. I think for me, I would say this campaign should be an ongoing campaign.
Yes.
That's why you've seen in maybe other radio stations, they have programs that are running on a daily basis where they bring up someone just to talk about the finances. And in schools, nowadays, there's business studies that has been introduced at a primary level, just to educate the children. And even in homes, I would encourage parents as well to just start educating their children at a tender age. There's this thing that we call the piggy bank. At least just get a big bank for the kids, and just let them start throwing even just those little coins, so that they understand the importance of saving. And when you break that big piggy bank, then you can buy them something that they want, so that they know that, okay, for this period, this is the amount of money that I've saved, and you know, it will help them to understand the importance of saving.
Yeah, okay.
All right, you talked about organizations, individuals, as well as the government to take part in the Financial Literacy Week. Do you think, as a nation, do we have that stance where people are able to manage their finances on their own at the younger age?
I would say at the moment we do have capacity to do that, but it's just that that knowledge hasn't yet been impacted in the children at a tender age, because you can see the behavior of the children who are in university, and that clearly shows that the finance knowledge was not really impacted in these children at a tender age. So I still feel we still need to do more on that, so that we can really help the children who are in school, because nowadays there's a lot of happenings, and that's what is leading now to especially the younger population to engage themselves in betting, because they want quick money. They don't want to follow the procedures, or to wait and have patience, because with money and investment, you really need to have patience, because it's not something that you can just invest and tomorrow you make a profit of 100%. It doesn't work like that. So in financial investment, there are so many things that you need to do. There's a lot of patience that is supposed to be done. So I feel there's more that need to be done from the government side, as well as from the corporate world, as well as from the family. So if we can start encouraging the children at a tender age, I think that would be great.
All right, not too long ago, there was this saying that mwana mungono safunga konda ndalama. then how do you justify that one? Now that we are saying the target is everyone has to take part in this financial literacy. Now that not too long ago parents used to say that, how do you justify that one?
I think for me it's just how you educate your children when it comes to money. Because when growing up, we used to have those theory where parents would tell us money is not good, money is the source of evil, money is what and what. But when you look at it critically, for you to survive, for you to do all these things, for us to just get here, there was finances that was involved on a daily basis. When you woke up, before you even prepare for your day, there are finances, because you need to take a bath, and for you to do that there are so many necessities that are needed, and those things requires money. So if you say mwana mungono sakoda sakukonta drama, sorry, pardon my nyanja, it means it would disadvantage the children from understanding the finances. So for me, I would say maybe it's just the way the whole process is put up. So if we can educate the kids on how to use the money and the importance of money, and give them the importance of having a good knowledge about money, then it will be good. And
I'm glad even schools have welcomed this move, because we've now seen schools having entrepreneurship days.
Yeah, true.
Where the children would go with some goods and sell in school. So it's how you're raising these kids. Remember, Henry? No, remember, Henry, we've been saying here each and every week, saying in the African syllabus really doesn't tell us how to do other skills.
It used to tell us that uzangala kawalala.
Oh, each and every time they only teach us biology, this and this. But if we come back to reality, the subjects and whatever courses that we've been taking are not really the things that have helped us with our livelihoods. It's the small basic skills. So bringing in the entrepreneurship days kuma school, at least na baby class man, that's that, oh, nikagudisa ma fruits I'll make a profit. Nikachita vason, I'll make a profit. But though I don't really have good news with my child, she would sell and buy. She will sell something, go and buy sweets. Comes back home without any money.
Mr. Mutare, your concluding remarks as we wrap up the show.
Yeah, so I think for me, I'm just encouraging, parents out there and just the university students and just the population at large. Let's take the financial knowledge seriously. We need to start educating our children at a tender age so that they understand the basic knowledge about money in a good way. And we should make sure that we use the proper approach so that they understand all the details about money, and also start preparing for our retirement as well. We need to make sure that we invest in good investment. We make informed investment decisions so that when we retire, we can enjoy what we have really invested.
Well, thank you very much. That's a lovely advice. Not idabambok to sonte fimbomba. What bomba
we are coming from that generation. Okay, there are two generations here. There's a COVID generation that understand that financial literacy is favoring them. But there is also this generation that is transitioning from the old generation, whereby when you find 2 kwacha, you stand on the road, you wait for the owner of that money. If you don't find the owner of the money, you get it, you take it to your parents. That's the generation that we are coming from. And we need to understand that financial literacy is actually very important. We know that giving children bank chekaja asungirako, give them the responsibilities. Deliberately give your child 100 kwacha. This 100 kwacha is for your week. Let them plan for their own money. Thank you very much, sir, for coming.
Thank you.
All right, we are coming to the end of the show. Remember, you can catch us every Saturday right here at Lumen TV channel 101, where we bring to you exciting programs ranging from sports, food for the soul. You know, we happen to have specific topics where we get to discuss with our guests as well as you, our viewers. You can always participate every Saturday from 07:30 hours through up to 9 hours from me, Henry Mdenda, and General Piri in the studio, and with our guests who gave us very deep information about financial literacy. It's bye for now. Until next week.